Okay, when it comes to reporting unlicensed activity, if you don't know who your inspector is, you can always reach out to the inspector on duty, or the IOD. You can call that number there, reach out to them. But the Pest Management Division, as part of the Attorney Audit General, they said that patrolling, driving around, was a waste of time. And so they're not driving around anymore. All their investigations into unlicensed activity are actually done online, like doing some things online. We see unlicensed activity driving around all the time. Raise your hand if you've seen unlicensed activity. Yeah, every hand pretty much in this room is raised. We've seen it at some point, okay? And there's 2-page document form of how to file a complaint on how to do that. And everybody goes, I'm not going to do that. Sometimes if we're feeling nice, maybe we'll stop the guy and be like, hey, you need a license, and call the state. But a lot of times we just don't get involved. What I would recommend, if you see somebody that has a truck, that has a rig in it, that doesn't have the business license number on it, and that's usually the dead giveaway, just take a picture. All you got to do is take a picture of it and email it to Brian Kennedy. Email a picture of the unlicensed activity to Brian. Any of this information that you have. If you don't have all of it, that's fine. Send him whatever information you have. If you just have the driver's license number, that's great. They can go and actually pull the guy's address, and then they can go take action. Okay? You do not have to fill out that 2-page form. Just email or call and report what you saw, and help do this, because they're not spending any time patrolling right now. And I, for one, would rather have the PMD spending time investigating the people who are spending no time getting licensed. They don't have to come to these CEUs and aren't having to do any of this stuff, rather than spending their time only scheduling and investigating us, who have already taken the time to go through the licensing process and are taking the time to learn and keep up with our licenses. So they know this. Vince is actually working on getting some more things going on around unlicensed activity. They had an inspector that was really targeting this and working on it, and he recently passed away. So it was a little bit of a setback in this area. So right now, we just need your help. And if you see any unlicensed activity, whatever information you find, if you can send it to the PMD via one of these 2 methods, then that's going to help them be able to crack down on that. Okay? Vince said that if you see them servicing a business, that's really the best. Because if they're servicing somewhere in a residential area, a lot of times homeowners don't want to, rat on their technician. It's a relationship that they've built if they're letting that guy into their house, and he might have been doing it for a long time. But businesses are less reluctant. They don't want to be involved in an investigation. They don't, if they were doing work with a company that was unlicensed, they are usually easier to cooperate. So they would prefer that. And then the complaint form, we only need to use that if you want to get updates. Like if you're really invested into this and you're like, hey, I want to figure out what's going on. I want to know what they busted this guy and figure out what happened. Then you got to fill out the whole form. But if you just call or email, it's not your complaint. The PMD takes it over. It becomes their complaint and their investigation into it. It's not yours. Does that make sense? But a lot easier to report. So hopefully we get more activity doing that.